We're looking at what would happen if Paulson's plan goes through and if it doesn't go through. I've got Jim Cramer here for me. All right, Jim, first, if it goes through, you're talking about Wachovia being the likely bank that will next get a deal.
I think Wachovia is the one that is furthest ahead of how to divide itself into the bad loans and being able to identify what the bad loans are. Now,
more than Washington Mutual?
Washington Mutual is a disaster. I don't think they have it's like AIG. I don't think they have a handle on it. Although AIG stock, I've been doing some more work on that. It's 3. Remember, it was at 4 yesterday.
Right.
It's come down to 3. Gets interesting again. Fannie was at 1. Remember, I told you if the plan gets closer, people are going to play that. They've doubled. I think that when you look at Wachovia versus Washington Mutual is not a call on anything. That common stock, they'll obliterate that common stock because it's different loan practice. Wachovia was a very safe lender, and then they bought Washington Mutual. They bought Golden West. The Sandlers are much revered and said that they built Golden West and are supposed to have used really great standards, but they got caught up. They sold at the top. What Bob Steele has to do, the CEO of Wachovia, is to sell Golden West to the federal government, list all the loans. Now, I have a scale that I'm putting up on Real Money, which talks about who you buy first. You buy 30-year fixed first, then you buy 2 and 28 first, and only then do you buy pick and pay and negative amortization because those are really hard to value. And I would value those at a very low rate because those people have no equity in it. They have no desire, they want to leave. Wachovia has a lot of those. So I don't know what Steele will do that. But if he divides into good and bad banks, he can now get the funding for the bad bank. Mellon divided in good and bad banks. Steele said over and over again, this is what he's going to do. And what Mellon did was it had to raise money for both good and bad. The numbers were very small then because it's in the 80s. Steele has to do the same, but Steele's thinking about how to put his loans in this. Well, obviously Bank of America is in unbelievable shape either way because Bank of America wrote down all its loans to levels when it bought Countrywide, wrote down all its loans to levels where it can write them up if when we see the posted prices for what the Fed is going to pay. Bank of America and Wachovia both have a lot of home equity loans that are bad. Wachovia has the whole loans on its book. So does Bank of America. Either way, I think that Wachovia is a great play on the plan succeeding, and Bank of America. You don't really want to own any bank if the plan fails. But if you had to pick one, it would be Bank of America.
All right. Additionally, if the plan fails, you've done some calculations.
Well, let's do that in another bit.
All right. That sounds good. All right. Stay tuned for that. This is Wall Street Confidential.